Bit of a different video today. I have decided to do my yearly review a little bit earlier this year. I usually kind of do it at the beginning of January the, the the next year, but I know for a fact that nothing else really is going to happen much for the rest of the year because it's Christmas and Dad's death anniversary and all this kind of stuff. But I wanted to just kind of talk about this year in a bit of a different way than I have before. It's not going to be me sitting here and telling you what I got up to this year. It's going to be me sitting here telling you what I have done wrong this year. And I want to make it very clear that nobody's making me do this video. I want to just like preface this by saying that I fucked up royally. I've not done anything abhorrent. I just want to put it out there. I've not done anything abhorrent. It's nothing like that. But this year, I have definitely not been at my best. I've definitely been not a great person, not a great friend, not a great partner. I've just not been good. I've not been great. Essentially, for most of this year, I have really no memories at all for most of the year until like a month ago. I want to say a month ago there was kind of just a wake-up call. The last couple of weeks have been very much a wake-up call as well, and have been very weird. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it will all become clear once I start explaining why I've had the year I've had and how I could have been better, because taking accountability is kind of a rare thing here on YouTube and on general internet, but I wanted to make sure that I am indeed taking accountability for the shit that I did, or the shit that I didn't do, to be more precise. I've not, as I said, I've not done anything illegal, abhorrent, or that would put me in jail. It's just I have been a very selfish person this year. You won't have seen behind the scenes and behind closed doors how I have been or how I've acted, because funnily enough, I don't share every ounce of my life online anymore. That's kind of a thing I used to do when I was a teenager. I don't do that anymore, really. But I wanted to make sure that I put out there that I'm not a perfect human. Nobody is perfect. I have always had this innate feeling and this innate knowledge that not everyone is perfect. No one's perfect. Nobody goes through life without making mistakes, and it's what you do with those mistakes that kind of signifies how the rest of your life is going to go. So I just want to put out there again that I'm not perfect, and that the mistakes I've made this year have not been great. They've not been horrible, but they haven't been great either. I've been kind of awful to people, and you won't know that because I don't show it online. I'm pretty chill and I'm pretty chipper and very hyper and very like, hey, let's talk about it today. Like all this kind of like, what we gonna do today? We're gonna play a game. I'm usually a pretty happy, energetic ball of weirdness online. But in real life, I'm not. Funnily enough, I have severe depression and severe anxiety. Essentially, I fucked up and kind of was not a great person to my friends, to Swarm, to my mum, to anyone really. And it's been like that since, I want to say, February of this year. Nothing in particular happened in February that triggered this thing. I don't really know how else to explain it, but that I just started dissociating pretty much every day. I don't remember most times this year, which is why I'm doing this video, because I don't really remember most of the year, because most of it was spent me just not really there. I wasn't really in my head. I was just kind of out of it and not really fully aware of what was going on in my life, and had no like emotions. I was very, very numb. I was unable to fully express an emotion. I am better now, but I definitely wasn't for most of the year. I spent most of the year questioning a lot of things about life and questioning a lot of things and whether I wanted things to continue in different ways. I, at one point, considered quitting the internet altogether and just going off of streaming, going off of YouTube, going off of like everything. I was considering just removing myself from the equation and just not being around anymore. Like online. Like in life, still being here, but like online, just not being around. But the problem with that is that all my friends are online and my partner is online and all this kind of stuff. That was kind of what was going through my head, was like, I cannot feel a single thing right now. I had no emotions going on in this little brain of mine. It was very much, I am numb. I feel nothing. I have what I would call memories of emotions, but I can't feel those emotions right now. They're just non existent right now. They're just not there. Essentially, it was what I was doing. And one of those emotions was love. Was kind of disappearing. It was a gradual thing. I don't even remember when it disappeared, but it definitely disappeared. I wasn't verbally abusive towards anybody. I wasn't mean-spirited. I wasn't like, at least not deliberately. I wasn't being mean with a purpose, like with a goal to like hurt anybody. I was being irrationally emotional, and it was not okay, and the way that I spoke to people was not okay. I have no excuse, quite honestly. I have literally zero excuses for the way that I was being. I think I just genuinely just didn't have any kind of control over my emotions. Not an excuse, it's just a reason. I've always said that having mental health issues should never be an excuse, but it can be a reason as to why things are happening or not happening that should or shouldn't be happening. And my emotional control was just gone. I had irritation and I was angry all the time, and I was cold towards people. I remember being so angry and so irritated all the time and not really wanted to talk to anyone and just kind of wanted to disappear off the internet and just be on my own in my own little cloud and not have anybody be around, all this kind of stuff. Like, I just wanted to be on my own. And I stuck around online because I have a partner and I have friends, and I wanted to still be around for them because I know that it would have been noticed if I wasn't around, and it would have been, people would have been like, but where's Thane gone? Where's the person who owns this server? Where is she, and why can't we get hold of her? You know, I couldn't disappear, and it kind of irritated me more that I wasn't able to just kind of disappear into the background and into the shadows and not be bothered anymore and all this kind of stuff, because that's all I kind of wanted to do. The breakup wasn't the catalyst. It was just the straw that broke the camel's back, I think. I just had so many things happen over the course of the few months that it just became this kind of pile in my head, and this breakup kind of just was the last little book that just tipped the scales, essentially, and became a reason for me acting the way that I acted. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I had no way of sorting out what I was feeling. I had plenty of ways of sorting it out. It's just I didn't want to. Is the essentially the crux of it. I just didn't really want to. It wasn't me wanting to be bitter for the rest of my life. It was just, I knew that eventually I'd come out of it. I just didn't know when I'd come out of it, and I didn't know who I would still have when I came out of it. I I'm not going to go into too much detail or give you too much information, but all I'll say is that Swarm's kind of having a bit of a rough time of it right now. And I am trying my best to be there more for him, because I spent most of the year not being there for him, and he spent most of the year kind of walking on eggshells and questioning a lot of times if I loved him or not, and it has left him feeling very hollow and feeling very uncared for. And so, because I've had a lot of very healing and very good both therapy sessions and, ridiculously enough, tarot readings, it's been really, really helpful and very, very healing. And so after having those readings and having therapy sessions and really kind of delving deep into my issues and all that kind of stuff, you know, all the classic blah 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 all the classic stuff that every YouTuber says, I'm sure, but I genuinely did. Like, I had a lot of therapy sessions and readings and all that fun stuff. After doing that and having like a proper routine of self-care, emotions have returned to my brain, and therefore I have all the emotions that I could possibly need. I fucked up, and it's on me that he feels the way that he feels, because I spent most of the year making him feel very unloved and unsupported, and he felt like I wasn't there for him, and all of these very, very valid feelings. And I feel bad and guilty, and not for myself, because that's on me. My guilt and everything, that's on me. That's my fault that I feel that way, and it's on me that I feel that, and that he felt that, and he now has this weight on him that I haven't helped him to carry for the past year. I don't want to force him into anything. I'm not here to force him to stay or anything like that. Everything that's like happened this year, that's been on me, and I'm aware of that, and I'm completely fine with accepting that. It just took me a long time to accept it, because when you're in it, you don't really think about it, and you don't really notice these things until clarity kind of comes to your brain and you become more emotionally stable and mentally more stable as well. My mentality is stable as fuck, dude. Like, I'm here, I'm living life. I'm feeling all them emotions. How do you apologize to somebody who you've hurt, who you're in love with, and who you want to spend your future with? How do you apologize to someone without sounding or feeling selfish when you're saying I'm sorry? Because then you're having the thing of, because I'm not sorry that I was called out, I'm not sorry for any of those things, I'm just sorry that I caused him so much pain. I think the problem with a lot of YouTubers when they make apologies or accountability videos or whatever it is you want to call them, I think the problem that they have is that they're not sorry that they did those things, and they're not sorry for the impact that those actions have had. They're sorry that they got caught in the first place. I'm trying really hard to practice patience and to practice listening and hearing him, and then just kind of became cold and distant and unable to fulfill my partnery duties of treating him as an equal. Because I didn't treat him equally. I treated him like shit. I'm gonna be real. I treated him like absolute trash. And he didn't deserve that. He's never done anything to me to deserve that. He's never done anything to anybody that I love and care about for me to do that to him. Like, he's just the sweetest boy and the nicest guy, and he takes accountability for his own actions and all this kind of stuff. Like, I'm not an innocent little angel who does nothing wrong. I am not perfect. Again, as I said at the beginning, I have this innate opinion that nobody is perfect. Everybody has their flaws, whether it be a societally perceived physical flaw or be a characteristic that's flawed, or like a personality flaw or whatever. There's a flaw in everyone. I have many flaws. I have many, not only physically, but also mentally and intelligently and emotionally. I'm just flawed as a person. I have a lot of flaws. I want to make it clear that I am very aware that I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect person. And I'm very, very, very aware of that. This year being a very prime example, but I'm hoping that going into the new year, I can be better and I can do better, and I will try my absolute best to not only be more consistent with things like streaming and doing this, but also just be more consistent as a person towards other people and not put all of my energy into this. Save some for my friends and my partner and my family, you know. But anyway. I love my partner a lot, and I love my friends a lot, and I want to be better for them, and I want to be better for my family, and be better for my mum, and just be better in general, be a better person. Because right now I'm kind of failing at that, or have been failing at it. But I'm trying to do better now, and trying to be better. And here's hoping 2026 is a little better, and that I don't just lose my mind for whatever reason at the beginning of the year. That'd be great. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you want to like this video, you can, I guess. If you want to subscribe, you can. All my links are down below, as well as links to my friends' Twitch accounts. Twitch links are in the description. Yeah, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Be good, support people, and I'll see you next time.